a great question. I don't know why I didn't post any cringe. The cringe is right here, JJ. This is the cringe.
Us?
Yeah, you and me. I mean, look, I got my gold chain like a real fucking Guido,
You are
and
a very Italian man.
you've got a shirt that says Sinister Sheep on it.
I'm repping the old brand.
Did like who got you that shirt? Did you make it yourself or something?
No, this is how I knew she was the one. This is my first gift
Here-
from my girlfriend.
Here, scoot over a little bit.
I was just like, oh yeah, I got a YouTube channel, stupid or whatever, called Sister Sheep. And then I think it was Christmas or something like that. She got me 3 shirts. This one and then 2 other ones that had Sheep and Weebs and Sheep and Friends on the back.
That's actually kind of cool though.
Like, so this is the exclusive, like, once I blow up, this is like exclusive. Like, there's only one of a kind.
No one will.
You want to even see the back?
Yeah. Let's see the back.
You want to see the back?
Whoa! Holy cow, JJ!
Yeah, so plus black doesn't make me look as fat. So
I'm so fucking stupid. Okay. So JJ.
why? What were you gonna say? Go
Nothing.
ahead.
Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna fucking
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah, go ahead. Say it.
It's fucked up. I'm
Well,
not
that's
gonna
it.
say
Now you have to say it.
No,
Say
I'm
it.
not.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
What are you gonna do? Fire me?
Yeah. Get out of here, kid.
Alright, I'm gonna leave my own house, guys.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. Soonish, maybe.
Yeah, in like a week and a half,
Wow.
I'll be gone from this place. So my parents' house, and finally got my own place with my fiance, and I should be moving in there beginning of next week, if not the middle of it.
Holy shit.
So
Congrats.
That's fun. That'll make this different. We'll probably be doing virtual streams
Yeah.
more often than not, just because the trip
Yeah.
back and forth would just be too long for both of us.
Yeah. So we'll probably do it through Discord or Streamlabs or something.
Yeah, it depends. Maybe on Tuesdays I'll just come over to my parents' house and do this and then leave. But actually, no, because I don't have a computer up there. That makes no sense.
We can
Never
stream
mind.
online.
Yeah, we could stream online too.
On my place. If you wanted to make the trip.
Oh yeah.
Instead of
Yes.
having you just go to your parents and be like, bye, and then
Yeah.
after.
At
At least then maybe me and you, or me, you, and Joe can drink and have fun.
Yeah.
Because
Definitely.
I recently bought, well, I've been buying I bought some Criterion Collection Blu-rays of Kurosawa movies.
Okay.
But I'm thinking about, it's $100 a year, the Criterion channel, which is basically like a streaming service for, the Criterion
Yep.
film categories that they have. And the great thing about it is they own all the rights, so it's not like movies are disappearing at all. What's on there is on there. You know how like on Netflix, like the Super Mario movie is going to be on there for like 3 months or something like that. The Criterion Collection is on there and it stays there.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And they have a lot of classic movies and stuff. So I'm thinking about buying it. I don't know if I will, but
That's all right. I just purchased myself a subscription to Marvel Unlimited. I watched the Cosmonaut Variety Hours video on getting into X-Men.
But you don't want to get into X-Men, which is a smart idea because it is like how he demonstrated in the video. It is complex. Like out of all like following characters canon, like even Spider-Man with the Clone Saga and stuff like that, like it gets all messy and stuff. X-Men is like expert levels amount of like, dude, what?
Yeah.
Like he covered a lot in that video, and he only really covered the modern stuff.
Yeah.
Not like at most he went to the Chris Claremont, which is like classic X-Men pretty much, but like he didn't even go into everything. And I don't expect him to, because X-Men has like 8 different titles going on at the same time. There's X-Force, X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, and like you need a guide basically to read everything.
Is it like Fate?
Yes.
Like if you were to describe getting
X-Men
into
is
X-Men,
the Fate equivalency of, but it's not confusing. It's more like if you're missing stuff out of context, you're like, what? So I guess it is kind of like
it's like Fate. It's exactly like Fate.
A little bit more easier to follow, but
yeah, probably a lot easier to follow. Fate was a stupid ass fucking
for my
visual novel.
For my X-Men thing, I've always just been like, oh, I like Wolverine. I'm gonna read Wolverine, and for the most part, they're pretty good. Those writers are pretty good at being like, we're just gonna focus on Wolverine. If you're missing out of context stuff, we're gonna explain it to you, kind of thing. But for the most part, it's just focused on Logan. Anyways, well, I'm happy you're delving into the world of comics. I just spent 20 minutes trying to explain to him.
Yeah, he was trying to get me like
It's a Mark
read
Waid's
specific
of Captain America,
yeah.
but it's not like Ed Brubaker's run, which is very simple to follow because it was during the 90s and Marvel was going through bankruptcy, so like series got rebooted and stuff like that. It just like the issue numbering gets out of whack. It's just crazy.
Like imagine today hearing Marvel is bankrupt.
Yeah, they child for chapter 11, I think.
Whatever that means. What would they read the first head?
Yeah. Well, basically their CEO at the time was just kind of cutting it in for himself. So he was like, "Hey, why don't we just buy a bunch of stuff and like go bankrupt?" And they're like, "That's a really bad idea." He's like, "Well, I'm gonna do it anyways." Like basically, so in the 90s, Marvel was struggling because of the Image revolution, and then they were trying to be like, "Hey, Image guys, you want to come write for Marvel?"
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "You're not gonna pay us," and they're like, "We're gonna give you 10 million up front for a dedicated 12 issue run."
That's a lot of money.
And then they're like, "Holy shit!" Right? Because comic book creators will never get paid that anymore. But it was during the 90s and like the big, basically comic book. I don't want to make a whole I couldn't make a whole video essay about this, but like basically there was a comic book bubble, right? And everyone thought, "Oh, issue ones, those are going to be valuable because they're issue ones." What they didn't realize is the reason why stuff like Superman issue 1 and Amazing Fantasy 15 first appearance of Spider-Man were so rare was because one, a couple different things. The Superman one, it was common to sell or not sell, but give comics away for I think it's called war bonds. I don't remember, but like basically you recycle paper for the war effort in World War II.
Oh, cool.
And so a lot of mothers and kids and stuff like that are just like, "Oh, you're done with these comics." So that creates a rarity.
Yeah.
Whereas with Image, first issue with Spawn, first issue with the Pit, first issue with the Max, they're like, "Oh, it's going to be the same equivalency." But they're printing millions and millions of copies of these.
So it's not as rare.
It's not rare.
It's like
at all.
It's like if Magic the Gathering, they made the One Ring to Rule Them All card.
Right, but
they made
it like
30 billion of them instead of making it just literally one fucking card.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. So then the comic bubble burst, but Marvel was still kind of trying to ride like, "Oh yeah, look at all these issue ones." And then like, "We got the Image guys to come back. We're going to reboot the whole universe to get the Image guys back." And it was fucking awful. Like,
why?
Terrible. It was drawn and
like, what was terrible about
it? So the art was bad. Okay, I know some people might like Rob Liefeld's art. I personally do not. Look up Rob Liefeld Captain America. You've probably seen this image before.
Is it the really buff one?
Yes, it's a really buff Captain America, which I think that one he did a commission on. But like, even still, his art is just not great. And these guys were hilariously late on due dates. Like 12 issue run, you're like, "Oh, so each issue comes out in a month." There were like years, like in between each issue, because these fuckers were just not. They were like, "Whatever, I'll just get it fucking done, whenever," because I'm already a millionaire off my Image books.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of that, and then Marvel's like, "Oh fuck, I guess we might go bankrupt."
No, but this is like just bad.
Yeah, that particular image is bad.
Is just bad. So
Yeah.
like, if you're telling
and
me
he's very bad at drawing feet, terrible at drawing feet.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So yeah,
Are you good at drawing feet?
I'm not good at drawing anything. I used to be kind of good, but
oh wow! Where you used to buy the anime books at the book fair, at the Scholastic book fair?
Not even the anime books.
I'm gonna make an
the
anime.
How to Draw Nintendo Characters book. That was my life. I was like, I could draw Mario, but only in this specific pose because the book only taught me how to draw in this specific pose.
You didn't learn to
No, I was just like, "Oh, let me just copy off this. Oh, I should be able to do it from my." I was very good at like looking at something and then like drawing a reference to
Yeah.
it, but just anything like
Off the dome.
off the dome, I was just like, what do I even do?
You know,
But
because
now I could just use AI, and that's
that's how I make my
yeah,
stuff.
that's how I make art.
Did you watch what's his name's video? I'm trying to remember his name.
Drew Gooden?
Yeah,
I've
you watch
seen his
his
thumbnail,
video?
but I haven't watched.
that's exactly what he talked about.
Yeah.
Like just like about artists like not being able, like people using AI to create
Yeah.
art. But I mean, I used to back in middle school when I was like obsessed with Rooster Teeth, and I believed they were gonna be the number one thing of ever. I tried to learn how to like draw, and
Ruby.
I would not draw Ruby, but like I drew my own. I drew my OCs, not for Ruby, but just like original characters.
Nice.
And I had a whole story and a whole background, and I tried to like look up how much Blender was.
Oh yeah.
And this one specific program that Monty Ohm always used.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to look up that program to like purchase it and learn how to like animate. I just never went anywhere with it.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of that. I've done even cringier stuff because I was really into Kingdom Hearts. So I'm like, what if like SpongeBob but Kingdom Hearts? So I chose SpongeBob characters with keyblades. It's so sick,
dude. SpongeBob with a keyblade sounds bad.
Sora.
Literally.
Oh, where's the darkness, Sora?
That's just, instead of it being Goofy and Donald.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
I can't wait for that crossover in Kingdom Hearts 4. If I don't see Patrick Star,
yeah, instead of Disney, they got a contract with Nickelodeon.
yeah, exactly.
And they were specifically like, "Yo, we're definitely having you guys."
I drew like Zim in an Organization 13 hoodie.
You're so fucking it was very cringy, dude.
I was literally those like, but I never posted. Thank God I never posted any art. So like, if I ever blew up, like people would like go and like they are sheets somewhere that are probably ripped up and destroyed.
So, oh man.
Yeah.
I still have, dude. This is fucking cringe. Actually, I don't think I have it anymore. Freshman year of high school, I took an art class because, like I said, I was really interested in all that, and I wanted to like be an animator for Rooster Teeth and Ruby. So one of our projects was to like make a character. So I already had my character, my OC. I already made him and everything, and you would develop this OC from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And one of the last projects we did was we had to take our OC and make a clay model out of it.
Oh, that's cool.
JJ.
It was awful.
Dude, I should have been put in like a special ed class after it because it was
no, I know it's
bad.
I know exactly.
It was they genuinely.
Like, oh, you kind of. I think I could kind of do that, and then you're just like, what the fuck is this,
dude? It was literally like. It was a blob with arms and legs, and it was sitting down, and I painted his face on.
Nice. Did it look sick as hell?
No. JJ, I threw it out recently. It was bad. If I had it, I would show you guys, but it is god-awful. Probably one of the worst projects I ever did. And I've never... And I one time didn't even hand in a project. Me not even handing in work was better than me doing this fucking clay doll.
Yeah.
That is how bad it was. I think at that moment I knew I was done with art.
At that moment I knew he fucked up. Yeah.
I learned cell animation in that class.
Cell animation. What's that?
So they use like
like the paper and the
yeah.
Oh yeah, I got you.
They had like it's where they used like a plastic film where they paint the character.
Oh right, yeah.
And then
I got you.
They just keep the background the same when it's hand drawn.
Yeah, I got you.
So we learned that, and I tried doing that with my character.
I was really into stop motion. I did a couple stop motion stuff, but it was.
Was it like Clay World?
Bad.
You ever seen Clay World?
Clay World.
Dude,
that sounds
don't fucking tell me you.
No, I
want to pull it up right now.
I used my Bionicles essentially, and it was.
That's badass though.
No, it was really bad. I couldn't stand up the figures at all. It was terrible.
You've never seen?
Oh yes, yeah.
Here, I'll show you guys. This is my friend in high school. My friend in middle school showed me these videos. This is truly like this. What this was peak. Like
Great
it's just
comedy too.
fantastic. I love pancakes. It's so good, dude. It is like truly one of the best videos ever made.
True.
And this thing came out 17 years ago.
That's so
Holy shit.
I was watching a video about like Tobuscus, if you remember Tobuscus.
Yeah, I remember that crack cocaine
Yeah.
guy.
And just like they're like, oh yeah, this video came out like something silly like 18 years ago. And I'm like, holy shit! Like I remember watching early Tobuscus. This is crazy.
Dude, it's like it's the same thing with like if you just go back to PewDiePie, bro. Like you go back to any
Yeah.
old PewDiePie.
And now he's
videos.
just posting how happy he is with this kid. I'm like, this is like really heartwarming. I love this.
Yeah, he's done, dude. He doesn't need to do any of this stuff
Yeah.
anymore.
I love it.
He's just he's
Yeah.
doing his own thing.
And he's not bumping into any minor issues. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have to deal with any minor inconveniences. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, dude, you mean like my favorite YouTuber right now, Mr. Dr.
Dr.
Disrespect?
Disrespect. Yeah, I just got into him. I hope he sticks around for a while.
Yeah, he's a really great guy.
Yeah.
I watched what the fuck? I gotta find. I was gonna tell you about this bit because I watched this guy called Sir Zanny,
Mhm.
and he made a reference. In his latest video because he's talking about Elden Ring.
Mhm.
He like made a his thumbnail. Okay, that's it. It's called "I've been fighting my Elden Ring DLC allegations."
Oh.
Let me find I'll find the video. But he's just it is so goddamn funny. Sir Zanny. And then the video you showed me of so here's his thumbnail for his latest video, Sir Zanny.
Mhm.
Is this fucking Dr. Disrespect. And then there is a part of his video which I will find, but it was like he like brings up like Dr. Disrespect, and I just thought it was so fucking funny. And I was like, I gotta tell JJ this joke. I gotta tell him this joke is so funny. And then I don't remember what part where it was, like where in the video it was. Maybe eventually I'll tell you. I'll find it like maybe after the stream.
Okay.
But yeah. Dr. Disrespect, crazy, bro. Crazy.
Yeah,
kid, bro.
that's when you see
JJ, it was the situation with Dr. Disrespect was so bad that a Destiny streamer that I watched made a video about it.
Damn.
He has no connection to Dr. Disrespect at all. He just started talking about it.
That's how you know it's tough.
Yeah. When people that aren't part of that, I mean, it's a gaming. They're both gaming.
It was like
streamers,
a word of mouth thing from like a Twitch employee. So it's like, all right, well, is there evidence of this? And then when he just came out with it, it's like, oh, so he literally confirmed it. So
yeah.
And like, I like how the internet has kind of
come back, guys.
Have you seen?
Because fuck the haters.
Have you seen the clip of him reading that he's getting dropped from his gaming company and the Elden Ring music comes to like
streams?
Yeah, dude, like you could see it in real time. His like life collapsing.
Dude, I mean, come on, bro. Like, so I was talking to my cousin about it, and my cousin was like, I stopped watching him because I thought like a while ago these allegations came out or something.
It's like 7 years ago or something when the incident.
2017, yeah.
Yeah.
But my cousin is making reference to in 2017, 2018, when Dr. Disrespect was called out for cheating on his wife.
Oh, and he's done that a bunch of times.
Yeah, clearly, with a minor, he tried to cheat on his wife with a minor,
and it's probably a minor.
It's just bad. It's just bad. I
mean, I don't pay attention to the streaming scene. Like, I just know of Dr. Disrespect by being on the internet. But,
I know streamers that play with him, and it's like for them that sucks the most because it's like you're trying to back up your bro.
Yeah.
And you find out your bro,
like that's
like little kids.
Crazy. Yeah.
And it's like yeah, there was no criminal charges. It's like yeah, but
that doesn't excuse the fact that
you tried talking to a minor.
And in that statement, he tried to edit out the word minor, but it was already too late.
And then he put it back in like 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
It's what a shit show. But he's gonna come back because fuck the haters.
Yeah.
Fuck the woke mom. Haters. Fuck those fake friends that wouldn't stand by me. Dude. I mean, you
talk to him.
You're a predator. Like 7 years ago, he's 47. 40. No, he's 43 right now.
Yeah,
He was 35.
that's. What do you even talk about with that age gap? Besides, like, how's school? Okay, bye.
I mean, like, here's the thing: like, he's playing Call of Duty, so he's
Yeah.
definitely playing with kids that age.
No, for sure.
So he probably has and his audience is probably that age.
True.
Like,
Actually, an old coworker of ours was a big Doctor Disrespect fan. I haven't
no,
talked to him since, but
I believe that.
yeah,
I believe that.
he was like, "Look, he
100%.
shot me out." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool," but like, I didn't know anything about it. Now, I wonder what he's thinking about all this right now.
Well, it's the same thing. Like, I remember when I was a big fan of Cryotic,
mm-hmm.
and he also had allegations of talking to a minor.
Yeah.
And I remember I was an avid fan of his like late nights with Cry and Russ streams. I went on Twitter and he posted this thing like, I don't know if we're gonna stream tonight, but I will let you guys know. And I posted saying like, hey, I can't wait for your stream, and he messaged me back.
Damn. I've gotten a couple of those. Like there was this rapper I was following called Anonymous, where I was like, "Yo, dude, I love your music." He's like, "Thanks, white boy." I'm like, "You're welcome."
Yeah, and then hopefully your guy wasn't.
No, he just came out with the new album.
Oh, good. Yeah. My guy's is Predator.
I'm trying to think. Besides Tobuscus, I mean, probably they're some of that. I mean, PewDiePie has his controversies, but he's kind of gotten out of that. But I don't think any of them have been like sexual deviants or whatever. But
as far
or
as
message to minor, as far as I know, because I was never into the Minecraft thing, and that's just a landfill of like child predators.
Yeah, no, that's you step in one fucking channel, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm
or the Smash Brothers community.
Yeah.
Just fucking...
Oh my god. So JJ, what are we talking about today? It's been half an hour, and we haven't talked about.
I kind of like this format, the tangent half an hour, and then we get into it. So before we talk about the bear, I kind of want to.
What? We're not going to talk about the bear yet? What did you want to talk about, JJ?
Talk about the bear first?
What did you want to talk about first? What did you want to talk about first?
I want to talk about the Acolyte. I tried watching it.
No, it's my eye. Don't worry.
Okay,
it's my eye.
I tried watching it. It's hard for me to be passionate about Star Wars, about anything. And I was just like, the opening bar fight was cool.
That's great. You know what's crazy about this show?
What's that?
Remember when you tried to hype me up for this show? You're like, the Acolyte, it's going to be set during the High Republic. And I was like, it's going to be bad. No one cares. I don't care.
Like, this was before they said High Republic. They were just like, oh, the Acolyte, and it's going to take place before the prequel. So I was hyped for this because I was like, are they going to do Old Republic? I fucking love the Old Republic. And it was just like, no, we're going to do our Disney prequel thing. And Old Republic doesn't exist anymore. Well, it technically does, but we're not going to make any content because we didn't invent it.
But it was just so funny. Like, in hindsight, it's so funny.
That whole I wish we could... we could just post that.
We can. You just...
But it's so out of date.
No, it is, but that's what's funny about it.
It's just
because we can. It's like a time capsule.
Look, man.
It's like a time capsule. It's all of these things being announced, you being excited, and now you cut to today. I can't get excited for anything Star Wars related. Like, I just don't.
Yeah, listen.
Just don't care.
Like, there's the whole diversity conversation about this, and honestly,
diversity. What's the conversation about the diversity other than like incels?
Yeah, well, I don't really like. I hate this kind of cultural stuff that's going on. That's like, I just want to watch. Listen, if it has a diverse cast and it's good, like Wakanda Forever, we're gonna be like, hey, that was really good. If it has a diverse cast and it sucks, let's say, I don't know, like the Little Mermaid reboot. Not because there's, POC in there, but just because it's another soulless Disney reboot. Like, that's what it is. Let's call it a spade. It doesn't do anything different.
Mm-hmm.
Blah. Like, those are the reasons why I like or don't like something. But the current, like, it's not even film criticism, but for lack of a better term, film criticism is like, oh, they're just doing this. I'm like, just watch it first and fucking make your judgments then. And like, they're like arguing about the what's the conehead looking guy? They mentioned it in the Realtor media.
I know who you're talking about, but
and it's like,
the
oh,
reas-
well, the canon doesn't match up. It's like, are we? This guy's not a major player. Maybe in the like old canon he was,
in
but
the Red Letter Media video, they were like, "It is fucking stupid that they're not being consistent
no, it
with
is.
that fact."
But
Because
like,
that's what's annoying about
Disney,
him being in the story.
the reason why I'm not surprised by that, and these guys keep being surprised by these things, is Disney was like, hey, we own the Star Wars license. You know, all of that book stuff that was in canon, fuck all that shit. Here's the new shit. And they've been consistent with that. So, like, if they change some dates around, I'm not going to be like, oh, what a shock. Because that from the start, they've been doing that.
Remember when they made Professor McGonagall
In
Harry
Star
Potter-
Wars.
in Harry Potter? Like, she's in the Fantastic Beasts movies.
I didn't watch those movies.
So she's in the Fantastic Beasts movies, but she's in the movies, and like movies are set in like the early 1920s.
Right.
She wasn't born until like after, like during or a little bit before World War II.
Oh.
The show is just
Thanks, J.K. Rowling.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, inconsistencies are
Yeah.
crazy, and like I feel like with the inconsistencies with this show also make it like important to talk about.
Mhm.
But most of the backlash is just a bunch of incels saying, "I hate women. I hate that
Yeah.
the show writer is gay."
Like, I just
I hate
find the
that,
show,
the fucking-
and I'm disheartened just by Star Wars in general. That's why I am just like, I don't really want to
It's
spend
bad.
this time
It's bad.
on there. I can't say it's bad because I didn't complete it, but I was
It's not.
uninterested.
You don't like it. You
But that-
don't like it.
This is where my criticism is. It's like, or like, where, like, just because I'm not interested in it doesn't mean it's a bad show. Like, this isn't the worst thing I've seen. Like, it didn't like go into my home and slap my wife. Like it didn't offend me on that level. It's not bad. Like, I've seen worse things than this. I would just say it's you know. And we're like, film criticism today, we're afraid to be like, it either has to be, and that's the Rotten Tomatoes thing. This is green bleh, and this is a tomato certified. Like, I feel like there's a broader spectrum of, instead of bad, boy. Like, I know for the YouTube algorithm, we have to be like, is this bad or good? But like, in all honesty, a movie can just be like, that's pretty good. Like The Boys, the comic. Like, people are either like, it's really bad, it's really good.
It exists.
It exists, yeah. There's
It is the
there's no
comic book of all
conversation.
time.
Like, it's almost like people are afraid to just be like, because it has to be like this big cultural, like,
I told.
significant thing.
Let me see if I can find this. I told my fiance.
Have any of
this.
your coworkers sponsored Acolytes?
No.
No? Yeah.
Talked about it, at least to me. How I Met
I don't know a single besides Tyler, who is a huge Star Wars fan,
Mother.
which we had on for the Obi-Wan thing, which I don't know if it was on my channel or ours.
I don't know whose channel it's on.
Yeah, that was the last Star Wars thing I watched, was the Obi-Wan show.
Oh, that was on this channel.
Yeah.
Here, let me show you something. So my fiance and me, we love How I Met Your Mother. It's our favorite TV show.
Is
that
this
in.
how you rated them?
This,
Or this is how I
this is IMDb's rating of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. I like that last episode.
Look.
That last episode was oof.
Yeah, and they remade the episode. Like, you know,
Did they?
yeah, they remade it for a directed. Like, they did, like, you know how they do like the DVD
Yeah.
for each season. They reshot the end of the season.
Oh. What was
to
it?
make it. They pretty much made it to where they don't-
Spoilers for a show that's been out for like
they
a
don't
decade.
mention Robin and Ted getting back together at the end of the series. They just cut
That's
it
it.
to
They
where
just got that out.
yeah, the show ends when pretty much they pan out from Ted and
His kids.
Ted and the mother standing at the train station, and they pan out while they talk. And then what's his name? The narrator.
Mhm.
What's his name? Not Ted, but the actual actor's name from
I don't
Full
know.
House.
I haven't seen it in forever. Bob Saget.
Yeah, Bob Saget. He's like, and that kid is How I Met Your Mother, and the show ends.
That's a better ending.
It is a better ending, but I'd rather them commit
Yeah.
to the bit because the whole point of the show makes no sense then if that's the ending.
Mhm.
Because the whole show is the fact that Ted wants to bang Robin.
Yeah. This whole convoluted plot to be like, they just end up together.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Because
So then what's the? Because like, why tell a story
There is
about the
suffrage.
mother?
Yeah.
Like, why tell a story about How I Met Your Mother, and the mother isn't introduced until the 9th season?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of stupid. So
It
it makes
suffers-
sense that the story is about Ted wanting to bang.
This is why I think like
Robin.
for television series they should always be cut off by like either season 5 or season 6, because past that it's like because they could have, maybe they had a plan and they're like, oh fuck, but we're successful, so we got to stretch this out.
No. What
Or
happened is
they never had a plan, and then they're just like,
So,
fuck off.
with How I Met Your Mother, they had a plan. They knew their ending. That's why that scene at the end of the show
Mhm.
is the kids at the exact same age.
Right.
They filmed all of that.
Beforehand.
They filmed all of that during the first pilot.
Right.
So they
knew
everything.
but it was so successful that they're like, well,
But things
why the
changed.
fuck are we
The
gonna end this?
biggest fuck up was people liked Barney and Robin. They didn't know how to react to that.
I watched this with my sister.
My sister's watching it, and I've watched this with my fiance. We're watching it again for our 4th time, I think.
The whole thing.
Yeah, we like this show. It's a really good show. You just put on in the background and
Did
you can do
you
other shit.
watch the spinoff How I Met Your Father?
No, I did not.
Apparently it's canceled.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Yeah.
But with How I Met Your Mother, it is what I was trying to say, because you're mentioning ratings.
Mhm.
Most things are 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, here, give me 1 sec.
Yeah, sure. Dude, isn't that guy a fucking dork? Isn't he a fucking loser? Anyways, yeah, kind of go on what Peter was saying. I just like this whole culture of like, oh, things need to be either the first coming of Christ. It's like the Last of Us 2 thing all over again. Like, yeah, do I pretty much hate the story of Last of Us 2? Absolutely. But I'm not on the field camp of like, oh my god, they killed Joel, and that's the only thing I get focused on. Like, I'm fine with that. It's just like everything else in the game is story-wise it reaches a point where it's not good. But overall, I would give it like a meh kind of thing, because I liked the gameplay. I thought the gameplay was actually really solid in that game. Cool. Oh yeah, I am kidding. Cool. All right, hold on 1 sec. We're both really popular. But yeah, I don't know. Like, and the whole diving into like the politics side of things is just very, I don't know, it's very cringe because it doesn't matter. It's about the quality of the content, not like, oh look, there's a diverse cast. Okay, and like, oh no, what? Like, again, like a thing can have a diverse cast and be bad because it's a bad product, but just because it has something diverse doesn't equivalent really bad. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, like, and again with the Rotten Tomato thing, I hate the Rotten Tomato thing because you get the negative audience score and a positive thing, and it's like, oh well, clearly this is woke garbage, and then like you get the opposite where it's like high audience rating but negative critical reviews, and it's like, oh, see, this is like incredibly based. That was basically like the Snyder Bros and stuff like that. Again, we've even gotten like that, like, oh, the new DC stuff. Like, there's still Snyder fans that are like, the new DC stuff is oh, look at James Gunn's new Superman outfit. Like, compared to Henry Cavill, it's ass. It's like,
ass.
Okay, so you've just confirmed what I always thought of Snyder fans, is that they've never picked up a Superman comic book in their fucking life. Because if you see the tonal difference of the Superman costumes. One is like dark and depressing, and the other is like lighthearted and stuff like that. And if you, as a Superman quote unquote fan, go, "Oh, that's not Superman at all," then you've never experienced anything Superman outside of the Snyder verse and stuff like that. Like it's just so.
Did you know the voice actor for Superman in the cartoon is
Jack
Huey?
Quaid? Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I knew that. Did you know that Jack Quaid is Dennis Quaid's son?
Yeah, I did know that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I had a call about my car.
Oh, okay.
Because they fucked up. I went to get my car last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago.
Your new car?
My new car. My new
Okay.
car. So it's been about a week and a half.
Mhm.
And I went to give them I went there and I gave them my old plates.
Mm.
So they could register my car
Mhm.
with my old plates.
Mhm.
They just gave me new plates.
Oh.
So I don't know if there's a problem now because I have the old plates. They're not registered to any car. So do I have to just go to the DMV and just toss
I
them?
think so.
I'll have to talk to my parents about it.
Yeah, I would talk. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's a little annoying.
Mm-hmm. No, that is annoying.
I literally went to to them with my plates.
Mm-hmm.
They would say it would be ready by Monday. I called them yesterday because I was like, been about a week. What the fuck? And then now they're like, they called me now and they're like, oh, we got you new ones. It's like, well, then what the fuck was the point of me bringing them with me on Saturday?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? It's like, whatever. I don't. As long as I just get plates for my car,
No,
I will be happy.
Yeah. But anyways, I was just wrapping up, just being like, I hate how like this kind of like woke, like, oh, this is woke, so it means bad, and it's like, well, you're just like throwing that blanket term. Like, basically, my conclusion was just because something has a diverse cast does not mean it's good or bad. It depends on the product itself being good or bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, like,
and if the Acolyte,
let's jump into what we want to talk about, which is a show that is very diverse, which is The Bear. Like, this is an extremely diverse cast. You've got an Italian, you've got a fake Italian, you've got a Hispanic lady, you got a bunch of black Americans.
Yeah.
You've got John Cena in this.
You got John Cena, yeah.
Like, this show is very diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, actually.
Yeah.
How diverse.
But it doesn't. But I get what people say. Like, it's not like it's
not
like,
in your face. It's
just in the world.
They just have diverse cast. Yeah. It's
The Bear. Do you want to just start with new season and go season by season? What do you want to do?
Let's just. I mean, what's there to say about the first 2 seasons other than that they're
the only
fucking
thing
masterpiece?
I have to say is I still think the second one is my favorite.
The second season is the best season.
Because I believe the second season had a better episode layout because it was all about them opening the restaurant. So there was still tension, but it was all boiling up to the last episode is the grand opening of the restaurant and how much stress and holy crap, like, whereas like this season, it's still good and I like it a lot and it's, one of the best things on television. But it's just like some of the episodes feel like, oh look, isn't this intense? But it's about the action and not so much the drama of the intensity.
Actually, I think this season is way more about the character studies of the characters of Carmy.
I would say it's about that, but season 2 for me has a better execution of that.
Season 2 does just a better job at, especially in the one-off episodes where they take a deep dive into Marcus.
Yeah.
And
the whole fucking Christmas episode.
That was a great episode. My favorite episode of season 2 is not even. I love that Christmas episode, but my favorite episode of season 2 is Forks. That is genuinely my favorite fucking episode.
The Taylor Swift one.
It's the one where Richie
goes into
pretty much becomes the best character on the show.
Yeah.
where he's like,
Well, he was already the best character.
no, I actually didn't like him. I was like, nah, this dude's just
I
fucking,
loved him.
he's
I
fucking
love
annoying.
bad characters.
I don't like him. In the second season, he wore off on me because he's just trying to like figure out what his place is in
Yeah.
all of this. And then in Forks, they pay that off,
Mhm.
where they're like, this is your fucking place. You are good with people. You know how to talk to people. You are very hospitable. You're going to be a great fucking maitre d'. And he is. He is so fucking good at his job. And in season 3, you really see that with his character. It's
Mhm.
like, this is his fucking playground. He loves this shit.
I feel like there was a lot of resolution in season 2, even though
Yeah.
they were building. And season 3, there's not a lot of resolution. Like Cousin and Carmi still haven't made up. We still don't know about the future of the bear, and it's just like to be continued. And it's like such a cliffhanger. It's like, oh,
Did we even
this,
see
this
the-
feels like incomplete.
Did we even see
Whereas, each-
what the review said at the end of the season?
Well, we saw keywords that Carmi saw, but we don't know whether that's in Carmi's head or whether that's
Yeah.
an actual review. Some of the words were positive, some of the words were negative. So
I think what I liked. So my mom summarized season 3 because she got up to Ice Chips.
yeah,
Probably finished the show last
Mhm.
night, but she got up to Ice Chips when we were talking about it, and she was like, "This season is not about the talking."
yeah.
And episode
Well,
1,
yeah, you could tell that from the first episode.
episode 1
yeah,
fucking nails that, because all it is just like, it's not even like a recap of like Carmi's life. It is a
But it
recap
totally
of Carmi's
is.
life, but it's also like,
Yeah.
what is he doing now? It's like interchanging between all of that.
Yeah.
It's almost as if like we're in Carmi's head,
Mhm.
and we're just like, he's going through like the trauma that he went through
Yeah.
while working in the industry in New York.
Mhm.
And I've been explaining this to a lot of people that like the bear at my job and to my mom.
Mhm.
This season is very artsy fartsy compared to the first 2 seasons.
Yeah,
They really try to like,
because they're like, oh, this is already successful. It's like each season, they're like, all right, we'll let you do more. We'll let you do more. We'll let you do more, which is good. However, that first episode, I can already tell I haven't even talked to my parents about it, and I can already tell they're gonna be like, yeah, wasn't a fan of the first episode.
I guarantee.
Yeah,
My mom
fucking
my
teeth.
mom likes the show. She
Oh,
didn't
I
say that
think
she
so.
hated. She didn't say she hated the first episode though,
Mhm.
or wouldn't like it. She just was like, "There's not a lot of talking this season."
Yeah.
And I think that's where I'm like,
But then you get some episodes like Ice Chips where it's literally
Dude.
just talking.
oh my god,
Yeah.
that like,
The best episode.
and that was directed by
by
Io or Ao, however you pronounce her name.
Ida, I don't know.
I don't know because we're
April from
racist.
Mutant Mayhem.
Very
April
cool.
O'Neil. Yeah, and she's
What's
also,
her name in the show?
I saw Inside Out too.
Oh, how'd that go?
It's all right.
It's all right. Sydney directed this episode.
Yes,
I
yep.
thought that was really cool
Mhm.
that she directed the female only episode.
No, she didn't direct this one. She directed Tina's episode.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Fuck, she did.
I was
the
just about to
Tina's
say that
episode.
was my favorite episode. this season.
That's what I liked about this episode,
Yeah.
because it ended and it's like, oh, Sydney's the one who fucking directed it.
Yeah. Yep.
No shit. No, because I loved their dynamic in the first and second season.
Well, I mean, I also love that episode because, like, I was explaining to my girlfriend, I'm like, it's the scene between Tina and Michael, and they're just shit talking. I'm like, this was like me at ShopRite, and I like miss that atmosphere of just being like, we all don't want to be here. We all know this is like crap, but we have to do it, kind of thing. And like,
I talked to my
once you get
fiancé about
higher and
that,
higher
too.
into like the career world, you get less and less of that, and you start missing the kind of like we're all band together because we fucking hate this place.
to be like, that was like, I say this to my fiance all the time. Like,
Mhm.
if it wasn't for her, I'd probably still be working at ShopRite.
Yeah.
But like, one of the things I do miss about ShopRite is like,
It's just the atmosphere.
is the fact that it didn't feel like I was working with coworkers.
Yes. Yeah. It felt like you were
I felt
working
like-
with friends.
And I think that had to do with the fact that we were all fucking.
We all
so
hung out
sad-
together. Yeah.
So sad about the COVID shit that like
Mhm.
that was our only human interaction.
Yeah. Well, and it was during the time during COVID too, where it was just like well, we all know we're not exposed to COVID. Do you want to hang out over our place? Sure. Like I
And
already
then we
know,
got to hang
that
out
we got
after
to hang out
work
after
and
work,
like,
parties after work.
yeah,
Um, it was a lot of fun.
that this show reminds me of that
Yeah.
energy. You're
Yeah.
right. You're so fucking right about that. The energy
Yeah.
that this show brings in terms of like everyone feeling like a family.
Mm-hmm.
But like the same thing with ShopRite. Like it did genuinely feel like
Yeah.
we were all like in it together.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, but I love Tina's episode because it's also like commentating on like job searches and stuff like that. And just how like fucking like you got into those Indeed ones. It's like, oh yeah, I'll definitely sign up, and they already have the position open. They're just leaving it out open because it looks good for like, oh look how many people applied for this position.
It's not even just that. It's also like in terms of the job market. Like Tina had experience, but
Yeah,
the way the job market is now,
she literally like was applying for a job. They're like, everything looks good. Do you have a bachelor's? And they're like, she's like, no, and they're like, oh well, maybe you could do night school. And she's like, well, I've done this job in my previous job like for 15 years. I know how to do this. And it's like, ooh, sorry. And like at the end of the day, it just goes to show that like college is literally just like a piece of paper for guaranteed success, which some people in this country cannot afford. And that sucks because they might have the same skill set as someone out of college, but because you don't have a piece of fucking paper, then it's minute. It's useless.
yeah, it's just that was the one that like pissed me off. Like I
Mhm.
was listening to that part and I was like, "Fuck you,
Mhm.
dude," because like I can't believe like 15 years of experience doesn't make her qualified. Like that's just
Yeah.
crazy to me. Um, this season was really good.
Mhm.
Like you said, I think season 2 is better, just because, like you said, just the consistency of it being like, here is
There was
episode
more of a
1,
narrative
we had
through
start. Yeah,
where this felt, at least to me, very jumpy.
the narrative through line was, I think, in episode 3,
Mhm.
which was the review.
Mm-hmm.
That was the narrative through line for this season.
Yeah.
Well, that happens 3 episodes deep into the season.
Yeah. I just kind of hate the cliffhanger. Cliffhanger. Part of a lot of aspects is like each season had like kind of like a conclusion. It's like, oh, now I'm excited to see what happens next, even though like a lot of this is already concluded and stuff.
No,
Whereas
I
like
agree with
this
that.
one, because you have the loose thread of Sydney,
first-
is she going to
Yeah.
open up a restaurant with that other guy? You got Carmi with a review. We have no idea what's going to happen with that. We have Junior. We have no idea what's happening with that, where he
He's
was
got no
talking to a
fucking
commuter in the
money.
car. Like there's like at least 2 or 3 more examples of that. Whereas like in season 2, everything is leading up to bam. Now I can't wait to see what happens after season 3, and all those plot lines are concluded. And then this one is just like, oh, and this and this and this and this, and then I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
next.
no, not a lot. But
Like-
each season has a cliffhanger.
but not in
The
season
biggest
3
fucking
cliffhanger.
This was a big fucking cliffhanger.
Not even really, because it was just like, yeah, we're gonna try to open up another restaurant, and it's like, okay, great.
And then this season was a big.
And then this
cliffhanger.
one- Yeah, no, not even that. It was just like, it was a cliffhanger with one aspect, which was like, is Carmi gonna get with Claire? Like that was the big like, oh, but the restaurant's already
Dude,
open.
that
All
was-
those plot lines are already.
That was my
tied
favorite
up.
part of season 3 too. That was another good part of season 3 where they
They didn't
fucking
even talk about that at all.
They
Like
go-
they touch upon that relationship, but there's no real like.
Well, that's because Carmen can't care right now. He wants to care.
Mhm.
It is very clear. That's why fucking
Right.
the Fack brothers
Well, what
went
I'm-
to the hospital. To
What
talk
I'm
to her.
saying is, in the previous seasons, that would have been like, oh, here's the payoff for that. We don't even like get a payoff to that. We get so many things that just are not paid off. Whereas, like in the previous seasons, we got a lot of things paid off, and then
Yeah,
what we
I
look
won't-
forward to is what's going to happen to the restaurant. Like all the character stuff pretty much was wrapped up, but what's going to happen to the restaurant was the most exciting part. Now we have the restaurant review, which was teased, and then we don't even see the outcome of that. And then a lot of character stuff we don't see the outcome of, and it's just like, usually in the previous seasons they really use their time management to wrap up those character moments. Where I feel like in this season not so much. And there was still plenty of stuff that happened in the other seasons. Like you have a whole episode of Marcus in Switzerland, right?
Yeah.
Like becoming a baker, becoming a better baker, and like all these other and Richie's story and stuff like that, and all about him finding his purpose, like what you said, and then but it still culminates all in the end. Oh, everyone's character arc is concluded for this season. Now let's move on to what's going to happen to the restaurant, and this is like a bunch of stuff just thrown at you at the end. I still like the show, and I still think season 3 is really good from a filmmaking, acting, and stuff. It's just
because
the way
season
the plot
wanted
is
to be
structured
artsy,
is like
fartsy, dude. It
that's
wanted
yeah.
to be artsy,
They
fartsy with its
and
camera work, its music. Like the
this
first
is where you're not
episode-
going to agree with me.
The first episode being the same fucking music track
Yeah.
the whole time and no fucking
Mhm.
talking was so good.
This is where you're not going to agree with me.
Why?
I think there's a level of creative freedom that is great, but also you have to have restrictions. I feel like having a little bit more restriction this season would have been better off. Like, let's tie in these loose ends. Like, I get where you're going for, but let's tie it up a
I
little
don't
bit.
think restriction is the right word. Discipline.
Discipline. That's
They
good.
were too much like we could do whatever
Yeah,
we
they're
want.
just like, do whatever you want, and then
But they weren't like, okay, let's make sure that like
because
you're right. When I
a good
finished episode
producer
10,
will be like, all right, well, that's great and all, but let's focus on these elements that you're still missing. Whereas I feel like with this, it's like, yeah, man, I think it's gonna
well,
get.
I think it's
gonna
also
be
because
pretty good.
like they know people are going to watch the fourth season.
Well, yeah, now definitely for sure.
It's not even just that. It's this show's so good.
Mhm.
If they keep it going, people are going to keep watching it.
Yeah, they got to cap it off at either 4 or 5. I don't see what else you can do after the fact. Like after they get their review, I don't know where you go after that.
I will say I kind of agree with you though with like episode 10. I didn't think the show was over.
Right, and it just kind of
But that
like
actually leads
Sydney
me
has a
into,
fucking panic attack, and then
yeah.
she's like, "All right," and that doesn't get resolved either. Like, wait, what? And it's not even like, oh, it's a new thing that Sydney gets freaked out. It's like we've seen throughout the whole series her being freaked out, so there's no like closure.
Yeah. I will say it's kind of dumb of her not to fucking just sign the contract.
I do. What was that?
She should have just signed the contract. I
Yeah.
don't get why she did.
My girlfriend, Steph, brought up a very good point, and I was thinking the same thing as you. I'm like, why doesn't she just sign the contract? And then my girlfriend made a good point, and like, yeah, but the guy hasn't even built what he's doing. He's promising 8K, or 80K, but like, he doesn't know. Like, that haven't even. It's just an idea. It's like one of your friends going up, like, dude, we should open up a bar. It's
Well,
like,
that's what I'm saying. She should just sign the contract with the bear.
oh, I see. I thought you were talking about the other guy.
No.
Okay, yeah.
I'm saying I understand why
But
she
I
doesn't
think-
want to because she doesn't trust Carmen.
Yeah, clearly, because throughout this, like, it starts out this season being like, here are the non-negotiables, and it's one of the non-negotiables is we're gonna create a new menu every day, which is incredibly like, holy shit, we gotta come up with something every
Hello, hello.
Oh, right, there it goes.
Oh god, we've been muted this whole fucking time, dude. Again.
No.
Let me check the stream.
Say
That's
that.
so annoying. When did it cut?
God damn it.
Oh no, it's just recent.
Oh. One of the non-negotiables is we're going to create a new menu every day, which is incredibly like. Did it just cut?
Happened 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
So it wasn't the whole fucking conversation.
Oh.
It's because somebody. I think it was because you were hitting the desk.
Oh. Goddamn.
That's okay.
You need a better mic. I'm sorry. Like this snowball ain't gonna cut it.
Don't hit the desk.
That's the definition of a bad mic.
It's okay. At least it wasn't like the whole conversation.
Yeah,
It was just the last 5 minutes.
Wow.
The fuck were you saying the last 5 minutes? Let me see.
Shit, I say a lot. It's out this season.
Oh, we were just talking about Carmi being a fucking...
Yeah. Carmi's an ass. I think the last 5 minutes basically boils.
It's just
Carmi's a bad boss, and he still doesn't have his shit together.
Carmi is just fucked in the head.
And Cindy should not sign that shit.
I think she should.
I think she shouldn't. Clearly, he's a bad boss. He's terrible.
Yeah, but
he doesn't communicate.
Your girlfriend's right. Why go with somebody who's just like, yeah, you can make $80K when there is
also true.
Whereas the business is built. It's done. Just fucking you will be fine if you sign with the bear. You are going to start the process all over again.
But what I'm saying is the allure of like
on
you
top
have
of the
total creative control is like that's appealing to her because like what I said before, that chef was saying that one story about like, oh yeah, the Top Chef gave me credit where you don't see that a lot in the industry, and Sydney wants that like credit, and Carmi's not giving it to her because he's not even letting her sit at the table of discussion of what's going to be on the fucking menu.
It's because Carmen's unhinged and he's just fucking
creating... I know that, and that's why
he's creating a menu like every day by himself in his apartment.
Yes. That's why she's gonna see the cracks eventually.
Yeah, but the overarching, like, the underlining, like, issue too is the fact that, like, restaurants are closing like fucking flies. Yeah. So why are you gonna now risk again joining a restaurant that could potentially go
under? That guy
was
hella pushy. Like, he was trying to come off as not pushy, but then like once he dragged her in that like wine cellar or whatever, it was just like no.
Like, to be fair, if you're trying to build a business and you need a partner,
I mean, true.
Yeah, you need an answer.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, well, let me think about it. It's like no, it's you either are gonna do it or you're not.
I'm all right.
You know, Bacio? Just get me like a Cookie Monster or something.
Okay. Also, I'll read One Piece whenever I want, at any moment in time that I want.
That's shitty. That's
I told you.
That's absolute garbage. That's the worst thing ever.
Last night he was watching a movie. So that was my brother, chat. So he was watching a movie last night, and I tried to like show him like Dan to Dan, like a trailer for Dan to Dan, and I was like, this show's gonna be really great. You should definitely watch it. And he's like, yeah, maybe I'll watch it, but I'm rewatching this show for like the 7th time. So
that was him. He was rewatching Naruto. And I was like, get onto One Piece. And now he's a One Piece. I was
reading it.
Or you was reading it. Whatever.
I've never read Naruto. I've only watched it. So I was reading it.
I was like, you already know the story. Just jump into
One Piece.
Jumping in the middle of One Piece is like jumping in the middle of like the Matrix movies and being like, what's good? It's like you're not going to understand what's going on. He's not
jumping in the middle of it. He is reading the most recent arc.
That's dumb because there's no...
Hey, I know basically...
No, this is the payoff of everything we've read.
Or the build-up, I meant. You don't know the build-up.
Yeah.
I know who Gold D. Roger.
Oh, who is he? Tell us who he is.
Ace's father.
Who's
King? He's the one that went and saw the conquered the Grand Line to read the freaking text on the whatever the hell it's called.
What did he do when he saw it?
They laughed.
Oh, he does know. He read the wiki.
Or watch the YouTube video.
What's Whitebeard? How did he die?
Yeah, punched the freaking chest 3 times or 2 times. It was the same dude.
Dude,
Whitebeard
died standing up.
Died standing up.
Whitebeard died standing up.
and died.
You're missing out a lot. I'm just saying.
You really are.
Hell, all right, fuck it, dude. Okay, fine. Just if you don't want to deal with
Honestly,
like the early
just
arcs,
read
just
Marineford,
watch the
dude.
recap. I forget which recap it is. Watch the recap up until Arlong. They hit Arlong Park, and then start from there. Like that, I can understand.
Honestly, at this point, not 2 episodes. Read it. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
you're
read
enjoying
it instead.
more reading.
Read-
Chainsaw
You
Man.
read Jujutsu Kaisen, right? You're all caught up.
Unfortunately.
Well, I mean, I agree with you there.
No. Jujutsu Kaisen's ass. We are not comparing.
No,
fast
but what I'm
food.
saying is he's able to read Jujutsu Kaisen, so he should be able to read One Piece.
Okay, there's a difference because Jujutsu Kaisen, I was afraid of being spoiled. I don't want to say it in case people who are watching. Oh no.
Which one? The bear.
We're talking about the bear.
Okay. About Gojo dying, I didn't want that to be spoiled for me,
Mhm.
so I quickly read it. So I read it with a reason.
And you should read
I
One
know,
Piece with a
Here's the
reason.
reason. Here's the reason. One Piece is genuinely one of the greatest manga ever.
It is.
Yeah, I could say that as well. But
No, you can't.
No, you can't because you haven't read it.
You're reading the
There's
end.
3 chapters.
You're
okay?
reading the end. That's like me saying How I Met Your Mother was bad because of just watching the ending. That's what I said. That's what I said. I watched the last episode of How I Met Your Mother and I said this show sucks.
And he watched.
And then I watched it and now it's
season
one of my
3
favorite
Right.
sitcoms. And now it's one of my favorite
Now
sitcoms.
you understand why it's why that ending is
That
so
ending
bad.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What,
now
oh,
know
like,
why.
English Mother?
Yeah, now I know why that ending sucks because I finished it. Same thing with The Promised Neverland. I
Yeah.
loved
That first season was
loved
a
the
banger.
first. I love the first arc where they're stuck in the fucking house.
Mhm.
Then after that, it goes
Well,
down
Yeah.
fucking hill. So just read One Piece, because God forbid you finish One Piece with the series, it ends and you're like, man, that ending really sucked. I'll wring your fucking neck.
That's true.
Like,
I was actually I was playing Elden Ring and re-listening to our One Piece tier list thing that we did with Leon. That shit was
pissed me
so
off.
funny. Oh my god.
that was a funny video, dude. That was a funny
That was
video.
a good video. Yeah, the bear. I kind of liked. We were kind of touching upon when he bumps into his old boss.
Yeah.
And just him being like, "All right, I'm gonna go take a piss now." Like he literally meant nothing to Carmi, and Carmi thought it was gonna be this whole big thing, but to that chef guy, who's
That's
just like,
also because Carmen's not good with talking to people.
yeah, he's
So,
an
like-
antisocial freak.
Like, he doesn't know how to, like, in the second season, every time he talked to Claire,
Yeah.
it was like, like,
Well, you know who my girlfriend's favorite character is?
Fack.
Fack.
Who
Dude, she
doesn't like,
loves
I mean, the
Fack.
thing is, he's the only actual real chef on
Yeah,
the
which is
show.
funny.
I love that part about his character. I love the way they
I love
treat
the
him. They're like,
haunting. Oh my, John Cena with the haunting.
Dude.
It's like, I'm gonna haunt you. And then
give me the fucking password. I'm gonna fucking
My favorite
haunt
is when they have their uncle over and he's explaining his haunting experience. Like it was actually like a supernatural. He felt it was a supernatural thing, and they're just like, "No way, that's sick." But there's another small moment that really illustrates how great the writing is, in this show, and it's with I don't remember the character's name, but it's with the black guy who like serves the wine and stuff like that. And he's
Yeah.
talking about how he used to be like a
baseball player.
going into professional baseball, and that whole conversation feels like a real conversation because sometimes they're talking over each other, sometimes it's just like, oh man, that sucks. Instead of this granular like, and then I learned my lesson about drugs and how drugs are like, it's never that. It's just very like, yeah man, I mean, it's just like it felt like a very like actual conversation.
You know what the
someone would
writing
have
is like?
to each
The
other.
dialogue, the writing.
Like
between
where I
characters.
literally thought that guy, that actor, like I thought, is that like his real experience? Did they just be like, all right, go off the riff about your experience with that,
Yeah.
go? Because it just feels so real and organic.
Well, it's not even just the writing; it's the acting too.
And the acting, yeah,
the
yeah, of course.
actors we can write natural dialogue, but it's the actors that have to actually
deliver it.
make it sound natural.
Yeah.
And you know what this reminds me of? The talking, the dialogue in this show. Same with Smiling Friends.
I love.
The dialogue, the dialogue in Smiling Friends.
Listen, man,
is
this
like,
thing was on my property. If you come here again, I'm gonna kill you. and then Charlie goes, "That was rude. What was that, bro? What was that? Yeah, that was what I thought." He knocks. over and walks away. He's the other one with the
Yo, I
Yeti.
would have fuck. I was like this close to beating him up, but you know, like my arm.
Smiley Friends is so.
Oh, it's just so good. Me and my fiance just watched that last night.
Yeah.
I
I showed Steph 5 minutes of it, like one of those YouTube clips. She's like, "What was that?" She just like does not
I'm
get it.
surprised she doesn't like it. I feel like she would like it.
No, I
It's such a funny
knew
show.
she wouldn't like it because she
Why?
doesn't like that. Like, because Smiley Friends is just like very random, and she's just like, okay, kind of thing. She didn't grow up watching Adult Swim or any of that. Like her
She didn't
her
grow
sense
up
of
watching
comedy was
Money
fucking
Fights.
Full House.
Yo, but like, come on, let's be for real. Full House is peak.
It was alright.
And you're right. Fuller House is better.
No,
So one last thing I want to touch on with
get the
Bear.
fuck off my expo, chef.
The one last thing I want to touch on the Bear, because we talked about The Boys last week,
Mhm.
and both shows, The Boys premiered this month as
Mhm.
well. Do you like the weekly model or the binge model?
Weekly.
I feel like this sucks
But
with
it
the show.
depends. I actually disagree. It depends on the show. I think this being all released at once is actually better for this show. For The Boys, I feel like if they just released all at once, it would just be
'Cause then it
another
builds-
superhero.
It builds
satire
the
show.
It builds the suspense of the
Yeah.
season and the mystery.
Whereas like this one it's pretty much like a 10-hour movie.
I feel like though with this, they're all about a half hour each episode.
Yeah, but all right, 5 hours.
But with this season, I feel like with this season, yeah, it works that way.
Mhm.
But like with last season,
Last season,
it's
week to week
week
works
to week
better.
works so well. But at the
Yeah.
same time, with this season, and just shows in general, I've been feeling
Mhm.
like the conversation's dead. Like
Yep.
I feel like no one's
Yeah.
going to talk about this show in like a month.
Yeah.
which is-
Once
which
everyone
is-
finishes up, yeah,
Yeah, which sucks because this is a really good show.
it is a really good.
And while you and me might have our gripes with the way it was written this season,
Mhm.
the technicals of this season,
Mhm.
holy fuck!
Mhm.
The camera work, whoever's the DP of this season,
Mhm.
killed it.
Yeah.
They killed it with the shots that they had and the way
My
they
favorite-
presented the characters and just,
Is a fact where he Carmi says, "All right, you pour this in front of the customer." He's like, "Got it." So he pours it in front of the customer. He's like, goes, "Enjoy." He looks like
that
in the
was
kitchen.
so
And Carmi's like,
fucking fun.
"What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "You told me to pour it. You didn't tell me to serve it." It's like, what the fuck?
And you can see in the background in the blur the guests being like,
What?
the fuck? And then
Yeah.
Richie, I really like I think one of the funniest scenes in this season was
Mm-hmm.
when they were like, "All right, Fack, you're too much in the shot. Your shadow is fucking up." the
Okay,
light.
slow.
keep
Keep
going,
going. Keep
one
going.
more, and then he was actually out of the shot, and it was like perfect. I
Yeah.
like that. That was really cute.
Mhm.
It was kind of meta in that. I like the. Little
I think
touches in
I
that.
also like their like guest stars. You know, like actual, not quote unquote actual celebrities, but like really famous celebrities. Like how they present that, like, oh, John Cena, but he doesn't take up the whole episode, or
He's just there.
He
He's
takes
just
up
there.
during the episode, but it's not all about his character or whatever. Same with like Jamie Lee Curtis; they use her very sparingly. Whereas like they could have easily been like, oh, we have Jamie Lee Curtis, let's just put her in all the episodes
Same
because
with,
look at us, we have a high paying actress.
Same with John. Bernthal.
Yeah, John Bertha. Oh, he killed it in that episode. That
He's so good.
was so
Frank.
good. As what?
His name's Frank.
No,
right?
his name's Michael.
Mike.
You're thinking of Frank Castle. Thinking
You're
of Punisher.
so fucking right.
Yeah.
He does so well as Mike.
Yeah.
I like
My
him as Mike.
I mean that episode was good, but my favorite performance in this show with John Bernthal is the Christmas one because you finally see how like, oh, he's definitely Jamie Lee Curtis's son because he also has kind of like a bipolar, like something's off with him kind of thing, and like you get like a real sense like, oh, these people are related kind of thing.
Oh,
you
this family is like Hereditary. This is what
Yeah.
Hereditary was trying to explain to us.
Hereditary, but if it took place in Chicago. What the fuck you doing over in the corner there, Ma? Don't you throw that fork, Michael. Fact, can you give me your fork? Don't give him the fork. Don't give him. Or no, what? Pete, can you give me the
Yeah.
fork? I just want to borrow the fork. I just want to. And like, you know when you're in those situations with like your in-laws or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're just like they ask you to do something in a joking way, and the rest of the family's telling you not to do it. And you're like, I don't know what the fuck to listen to right now.
Yes. There's a really
Yeah.
This show is.
I feel bad for
so-
Pete because they really do rip on Pete, and he's just a nice person.
That's what I liked about the end of the last season. That
Mm-hmm.
episode where like Jamie Lee Curtis's character,
Yeah,
Tries
she
to
does
do the
want to
thing.
fuck. Yeah,
and that was Pete. That's when Pete fucking broke, dude.
Mhm.
And that was like he cares. He cares about these people. He cares about Sugar. He wants her to be happy. He wants the family to be happy together because he loves them all. Because he's
Yeah.
just a sweet and
he's a
genuine
sweet
like
boy.
guy. He's stupid.
I wouldn't
like-
say he's stupid. I'd just say he's an optimist surrounded by nepotism.
No, bring the fucking. Why the fuck are you bringing fish when you know? he's
Oh
making seven
yeah.
fishes?
I think he just did it as like a kind gesture, but like didn't like realize it. Because I know people like that. They're just like kind to like a point where you're like, wait, no, but like you don't have to do that kind of
Yeah.
thing. What was I saying? It was like a good one too. Shit.
That's okay, Jake. That's
Oh,
okay.
the scene where Sydney brings over the food and he's like, if I cook this is gonna wake them up. And she's
just
like, yeah. And he keeps asking about each individual item, and she's like, she was like, I was just saying cooking in general will wake them up. He was just like,
he's too sweet, man. He's too
Yeah.
sweet. But the bear,
The
JJ,
Bear.
this is a good season.
terrible. show.
I can't wait.
One of the
for
worst shows.
season
I'd rather
4.
watch Acolyte again.
I'd rather watch Obi-Wan and Ahsoka.
Can we get Star Wars Put the Bear? It's like running a nightclub, the doot.
Jesus.
But it's just all about that. It's
Yeah.
just Carmi as an alien, like,
Honestly,
get the fuck off my
would-
club, chef.
I would much rather see a Star Wars show that is like the bear.
In what way? I was
They
saying
just
more
have
as
the
an-
rest of them. That'd be so funny.
It would have to be
and
like
it's really good.
one episode max.
It's like really
It's a
good.
special. That's all it is. You could never do a full season though, because people would not care.
You don't know. You do not know.
I mean, at this point, they might as well throw anything at Star Wars.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You do not know with Star Wars, but JJ, I think the bear.
I hate the Bear. I think it's one of the
You're
worst
right.
shows.
What a
on TV.
crappy fucking TV
Yeah,
show.
I prefer.
I would rather blow my fucking brains out than
We're gonna watch the
Bear.
Mets now.
Yeah, I'd rather blow my brains out than watch the bear again.
Yeah,
God, I fucking hate that show. Such
Yeah.
a shitty show.
pretty show. Anyways, but actually, it's really good.
Yeah, I really fucking recommend it, dude.
Uh-huh.
It's so good. I mean, if you're watching this, you probably already have seen it.
If not, oops.
Yeah, big oof,
Yeah,
but.
on your
Um,
part because you didn't watch it.
Yeah, you dumb
dickhead.
fuck.
You probably
You
recommended it a
stupid
bunch of
fucking
times.
Idiot.
Yeah.
I got a little too aggressive there. But
No,
at the
I get
same
aggressive
time-
all the time. Don't worry.
Same
about it,
time,
baby
they're
girl.
fucking stupid.
Come
They
on,
should
baby girl.
fucking
Baby girl. It's
drop
all right.
dead.
Baby girl. Baby girl.
Should fucking
Calm down.
end it.